Chairman, good to be speaking with you. I want to firstly take you back to last Friday. What was your initial thoughts and reaction to the EFL's decision to postpone games to at least the 3rd of April?
I was quite pleased actually because it was something that I was thinking about the day before. I was thinking, should I let the game go ahead? And I spoke to the EFL, and you have to follow their rules. So I put a statement out saying, please don't come to the game if you're feeling unwell or you're sort of over sort of 65. I mean, personally myself, I think now is a time to take responsible action, and I can't see football going ahead for at least the next 2 or 3 months.
And obviously, people's health and well-being is most important, more important than anything. But could I ask you about the initial impact that the postponements will have on the club itself?
Well, obviously, it's how the rest of the league's going to be played out. I mean, I think that meeting goes ahead tomorrow. I can't see them coming up with a reasonable plan because this could last for, and I don't want to be the spreader of doom, but it could last for 4 or 5 months. And we could be in a situation where we're not having football games for quite a few months, or not having sporting events for quite a few months. This could get really bad. If we don't start acting now, and I'm glad we've closed the stadium, I'm glad we're starting to social distance, but if we don't start acting now, this could get really bad, and the hospitals could be full, and there could be lots of people very sick, and us losing our loved ones. So we have to be very careful, Stephen.
Yeah, today you've announced the closure of the stadium and Sandy's Bar and Kitchen and all commercial and entertainment events.
Yeah, I think it's a responsible thing to do. We can still work while controlling the virus. We can still operate. We can still operate from home. Shops and chemists will still operate. But to get this virus under control, we've got to, the luxuries are going to go. You're not going to be able to go out to any real big social gatherings. And I think that's going to be put in place. But we have to, at this stage, because of the importance of this, look at the worst case scenario, okay, and not be selfish, okay. Isolate yourself, keep yourself away from your fellow humans as much as possible, okay, to stop spreading this disease.
In the initial term, it was said last Friday that the initial shortfall would be covered, but heading forward, and I appreciate that all of this is hypothetical at this stage, but how do you ensure that the club is on a good financial footing in the short term?
In the short term, I can fund quite a bit myself, but that is the short term. Any business, the football club does rely on its stadium income, does rely on the Sandy Paints being open. So that income has to be made up from somewhere. And I'm not a bottomless pit of money, okay? And I feel sorry for restaurateurs and other businesses that will very quickly run out of money. So I think in the short term, I think we'll be okay. But there has to be a long-term plan. And unfortunately, we have to turn to our government to help with this. I mean, standard of living is going to go down a little bit. If your standard of living is going to the pub every night and socialising, you're a single person, you're not going to be able to do that. So you're not going to be spending as much money. So therefore, we're going to have to live more frugally and off a little bit less money, but we're not going to be going out. We're not going to be going to the theatre. We're not going to be going out to the pub every night. It's going to be a case of we've all got to tighten our belts a little bit and social distance ourselves. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, Steve.
You speak to me from Portugal, from your home out there. What's it like out there? What's the situation like out there?
Well, they closed the schools a week ago, so the schools are all closed, and there's a lot of social distancing happening in Portugal. The Portuguese do seem to have grasped the situation quite quickly. Obviously, the neighbours with Spain, and so they've seen that go, and they've seen Italy go. They've pretty much closed the borders and keeping themselves to themselves. It's very hard for us to get a flight out of here now, which worries me because all my family are back in Mansfield, and obviously Tony's family are all back in Mansfield. So it's a situation that, we're in a foreign country and our support lines are not here. But then no one's support lines here. You can't really go and drop your kids off at your mum's. And that's what's worrying me about this Mother's Day. Please don't go and visit your mum if you're vulnerable in any sort of way, if your mum's vulnerable in any sort of way.
And how are you, Carolyn, and the boys?
We're very well. Basically, been living by ourselves for the last 7 days. All the playgrounds and everything are closed over here, so there's no going out and really mixing. The bars, the restaurants and everything are pretty much closed down. So you're pretty much on your own. We have no problems getting food or anything like that. The supermarkets are okay, but you go to the supermarket, one of us will go, and everyone stays a distance away from each other, and no one seems to be panic buying or anything like that. We realise that that's there, the food supply is going to be there, and water's going to be there, so you've got your basics. And that's it. We're just trying to get on with it and hoping the policy the Portuguese government have put in place works. And the people over here seem to be adhering to that. And I think we should do something similar back in England.
Just out of interest, what is the policy that the Portuguese government have implemented? How does it differ from the UK government?
Well, they closed the schools a week ago. They realised they've got less. The hospitals are not as well equipped as the UK hospitals. There's not many ventilator machines and stuff like that, so they have to be very careful with their curb. The bars and restaurants are closed. I think they're just a week ahead of the UK government as far as implementing rules, but they're a couple of weeks behind them as far as infection rates. So, I think there's probably a lot more people infected in England as opposed to Portugal. But Portugal, if they do something now, they won't catch that up.
And you are one of the real figureheads in Mansfield. What is your message, Chairman, to the Stag supporters, to the community of Mansfield and further afield?
You've got to really now think this is we're basically on a war footing against a virus, okay? Most of us are going to be fine, but we're on a war footing to save our vulnerable people.
Well, I trust you, Carolyn, and the boys keep well. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, will do. Steve-o, hope to see you all soon, and please keep safe.